Now, there's a lot of ways to describe the top offensive lineman in the country. This is how our scouting team is describing him. Overwhelming, intimidating, physical. Yeah, that checks out. His name is Brandon Baker, and our own Blair Angulo sat down with the five-star offensive tackle before his upcoming decision day.
The finish line is in sight for five-star Brandon Baker. The nation's #1 rated offensive tackle is down to 5 schools: Florida State, Nebraska, Ohio State, Oregon, and Texas, with a commitment scheduled for Sunday, September 24th, right here on the 24/7 Sports YouTube channel. The talented blocker from Mater Dei has been busy paving the way up front for the top-ranked high school team in America, helping the Monarchs to a perfect 4-0 record ahead of this week's trip to the East Coast to battle St. Francis Academy in Baltimore. The big 6'5", 290-pound lineman will soon turn his attention to the final official visit before his big announcement, and it will happen this coming weekend when Baker gets out to Lincoln to see the Cornhuskers in the much-anticipated home debut of first-year head coach Matt Rule.
I would say really just the culture, really. Unfortunately, I had a loss against Colorado. The defense played real well. The offense still kind of shaky, so really just trying to see the culture that Coach Rule is, building down there. Watched a couple interviews of the players. I really just see for myself, really. Coach Rule, he has a rich history of bringing programs down to, to the top with Baylor, and he was at the Panthers, so he knows what it looks like. Coach Raiola, he's who won, so Polynesian custom, so we kind of bond over that, and getting down there a couple times. This will be my third now. Is really just getting comfortable with them.
While the Huskers will get their big shot this weekend, Texas is a school that has been generating a lot of recent buzz with Baker, who found out during his own game Saturday night that the Longhorns had gone to Tuscaloosa and upset Alabama.
I mean, that's incredible. I have to go back and watch the film. One of my kind of concerns was how their culture was down there. So, you have to be doing something right in order to beat a school like Alabama. We have a great relationship. Coach Sark, he's West Coast guy, so we kind of have that familiarity. And Coach Flood, he knows what it looks like. Them both coached at the Falcons together and Alabama together. So, really just trying to get developed by the best, honestly.
Oregon is another school that has been mentioned often with Baker. The Ducks have been in the picture for a while and have a family connection working in their favor. His older brother Gary played along the defensive line 4 years ago, and the coaches have been continuing to make a strong push for Baker and other recruits throughout Southern California, a precise blueprint that was further boosted when it became known that Oregon was bound for the Big Ten.
I honestly feel like Coach Lanning is one of the most, I'd say efficient head coaches right now. He's definitely loves to stay in contact with me as well as Coach Terry. They like to call themselves a law firm, so it's about 4 or 5 of the five coaches in the group chat. So really just trying to stay consistent and continue being in the loop.
It's 3 official visits down, 1 more to go as the clock continues to tick for Brandon Baker. He knows exactly what he will be looking for down the stretch as he tries to draw differences between the top contenders.
Really just trying to stay in the moment, really just take it all in. It's coming by fast, it's approaching real, in about 2 weeks now, so really just trying to be present, really. I would say a rich program, rich tradition, and or programs that are on the rise. Like you said, Texas being Alabama, you have to be doing something right. So, being at a prestigious school like Mater Dei definitely set that foundation. Personally, Ohio State feels like a Mater Dei times 2 with that culture, with Coach Day and, the program that they've built over time, and Texas with Coach Sark, and, Oregon, and, Nebraska and different schools like that. I'm Brandon Baker, 5-star offensive tackle. I will be announcing my commitment here on 24/7 Sports.
Love that. Thank you, Blair, for the interview. And you just heard it from Brandon Baker himself. He will be committing right here on Commitment HQ, September 24th, coming up soon, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific time. There are his top 5 schools on the screen. Keep it locked into 24/7 Sports on YouTube for his decision. And with that, let's welcome in our Greg Biggins for more on the top offensive lineman as he gets closer to that commitment date. Greg, you've seen a lot of this modern day prospect, and I love his story. When he was younger, he wanted to play on the defensive line, but it seems like he was always destined to switch over to the O-line. Obviously, it's working out for him, but in your eyes, what makes him the top offensive lineman in this cycle?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a lot of things. And Coop, ironically, I just read your eval on our Fearless spreadsheet and agree with everything that you said about him. He's long. He's versatile. He's played guard early on at Mater Dei, freshman, sophomore year, switched over to right tackle. I think he's got a legit 83 wing. He's got good feet. He's an athlete. He's a kid who probably his walk around weight would be more like 270. So he's a pretty fluid kid. He's got just the right amount of nastiness that you want to see in a high school offensive lineman. I think that's going to translate really well. So high football IQ, very cerebral kid, very smart kid, always competes at a high level. And I think he can make a jump. I think me and Coop probably see it the same way. Maybe not as physically dominant as you would like to see. If we're talking previous offensive tackles who we would say OT1s, he's not a guy that's going to really pound you into the ground like a Francis Mauigoa, but just really efficient, knows the game, and plays hard. And I love his upside. Actually, I think he's got a chance to be really good and play on Sundays.
Biggie, Texas, Nebraska, Ohio State, all three of those programs know something about offensive line development. At the same time, Brandon Baker is the only offensive tackle ranked inside the top 32, which means he's the only five-star. So what type of impact can he make for the school of his choice at the next level?
It's funny, Coop. I think we talked about, kind of similar things with DeAndre Carter, right? When he committed and playing out of school like Mater Dei, I think prepares you so well. Just because of the coaching you get, the technique he's getting, and the level of competition he's already playing against. So when he goes to college at whatever school, he won't be wowed. He's not going to be in awe of the talent because he's already seen that talent. Obviously, not quite at that level, but he's going to see high-level talent every day in practice. They play an incredible schedule. Saying all that, I think he's talented enough to maybe be in that 2 deep. I personally would love to see every offensive lineman be able to redshirt, put on some good weight. You're going against men who are 3 years older than you are. So I think with Brandon right now, I think it would be good for him to go to college, get in that weight program, strength program, put on a good 10 to 15 pounds of good weight before he's ready to go. But I think he's a 3-and-out guy. I really believe that. I think whether he redshirts or plays, I think he's going to be a future 2-year starter. Whether he's playing tackle, right or left, whether he slides inside and plays guard, I really believe he's a guy who's capable of being 3-and-out. That's all the kids' goals these days, right? 3-and-out and on to the NFL. And, talking to some of his coaches, again, Mater Dei's got a really storied history. They say he's probably the best we've ever had. So that's quite a statement from some of those coaches over there at Mater Dei.
All right, Greg Biggins joining us with the scouting report for the top offensive linemen in the country. Thanks so much. And just a reminder, you can watch Brandon Baker's commitment right here on the 24/7 Sports YouTube channel. That is September 24th at 8 o'clock Eastern.